Laid it on you. Perfect. Now I know how you're going to pick it, too. Surprise you on camera. Hi, welcome back to the Morning Minute, brought to you by Road ID. I'm Neil Rogers here with Andy Hood as we've been all tour. Started stage 10 in Chambéry, also Bastille Day. Andy, I think we should talk a little bit about yesterday's stage before we even begin to talk about today, because I think you could make the argument that Tour de France was decided yesterday, not the winner, but definitely one of two guys. Is this a two-man race?
I think it is a two-man race. Schleck and Contador proved they're the strongest in the mountains up to now. Question is Schleck strong enough to get enough time on Contador going into the final time trial? There's still a lot of tour left. I was just talking to Martinelli, the sport director at Astana. He thinks the tour is not even close to being over. He said even guys like Menchov, Haysink, and Leipheimer can still get back in this race.
Yeah, I don't really know if I agree with that, actually. I think it is a two-man race at this point. I think that not only with the time advantage those riders have, but also just they've proven they're the strongest guys. I mean, it's not just a matter of, those guys can all of a sudden ride stronger than those two. They've ridden the best. But I did think it was interesting what we were talking at dinner last night about how maybe in years past, over the Madeleine, you might have seen 10, 12, 15, 20 guys, and really it was the two guys riding away and then groups of threes and fours, and you thought that maybe that proved that it is a cleaner cycling that we're seeing at this race.
I think you can make that argument. Before we could expect to see a big group of 40 guys coming over the top of the Madeleine, especially in a kind of a transition mountain stage, not a summit finish. Yesterday the whole race blew up. I think Levi said it was like a hand grenade being tossed in the peloton. The hand grenade was Andy Schleck. But to see guys coming over in dribs and drabs in groups of 2, 3s, and 4s, that really shows that the race has completely kind of changed. Guys are getting tired. Sure, there's factors of the wind. We're into the second half of the tour already, but I think that's kind of a signal that perhaps cycling is going in a better way.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. We're going to go out after this and go from bus to bus and ask the directors and the riders how they expect the day to go, and then we can make our picks for our little internal pool. But it is Bastille Day. It's always the French riders looking for a stage win. Got a couple tough climbs. How do you see the stage playing out?
I think it's a breakaway today. I think we'll see a lot of the French guys killing themselves to try to win today for sure. That's it.
Yeah.
Do I join in? No, that's not what you want. You're like, get the fuck out of here.
All right, well, another installment of the Chris Horner Video Diaries. Started stage 10, it's Bastille Day. Really tough stage yesterday, Col de Madeleine. We talked on the rest day about the team's objectives, whether it would be going for stage wins or riding for Levi, team classification. You had some pretty interesting things to say. It actually got me thinking a little bit about like a game of poker where it's, what's better, two of a kind or three of a kind, two pair, and in the team's case, stage wins a priority. Levi actually moved up yesterday on GC from 8th to 6th, but he lost a lot of time to
going for the win.
Well, for sure. I mean, and now it's clear who some of the podium guys might be, but maybe I don't know, that you sort of summarize your takeaway after a tough stage like that.
Well, it's a hard day to begin with. I mean, it was all day long was rough, and everybody was just dead when we hit the climb. It looked like there's only two guys with Contador and Andy that had any real form to go hard on the climb. Every group behind was just doing whatever it could to limit the damage. And so team-wise, for us, Levi moved up, so that's a good thing. We didn't win a stage, that's a bad thing. We didn't take over Team GC, so that's a bad thing too. So it's still there. So there's a lot of stages still left to go hunt down and go try everything we can to win a stage and put guys in the break. And you almost have to put guys in the break if you want to win Team GC too, so that you're not losing time with some break that gains 10 minutes or something like that up the road. So yeah, it's going to be a rougher tour. It's for me personally, it's a lot easier when you got one guy that's just riding really, really good, and the team's like, this is our goal right here. So.
Surprised that it was as hard as it was over the Madeleine. I mean, nobody seemed, there's Andy Schleck, nobody was sure if the GC guys were really going to do battle on the Madeleine, or if it might be just a steady pace over, and really Schleck just took the initiative.
Well, first off, first off, they had Jens in the break, which was a sign that Saxo Bank was going to try something, because Jens wasn't working in the break, so you know he wasn't going for the stage win. He was more interested in being there on the climb and then having Andy come across, and then they have some help there. So that was the first sign that something was going to go down on the climb. Certainly the second sign is that when they were setting a good tempo, a lot of riders were having problems, and you can see that a lot of the favorites were having problems too. So you're getting rid of riders like Hegenal that was in the top 10. You're getting rid of even Cadell later. Of course, it took for the Saxo Bank team to really put it down hard to get rid of Cadell, but you could see even before everybody was going 100% that he was having some problems. And so once that happened, you know, it was gone. All the signs were there for a good showdown going over the Madeleine.
Is it premature in terms of the general classification to call this a two-man race? I wrote a piece online saying it was. Some people are saying it's not. There's still plenty of racing to go. My argument would be not only do Contador and Schleck have significant time on everyone else, they've proven that they're also the strongest in the climbs.
Unless somebody's form changes, which certainly they could have a bad day. It'd take them having a bad day and get it in their form dropping in order to change anything. Because certainly the time, I mean, even if you look at Levi's time or the riders around Levi, they're still close enough to where if you had first and second both had a bad day, they could lose 4 minutes, and all of a sudden we got more of a race. With the way their form is and the way everyone else's form is, I always say we got a two-man race going on for sure, unless something changes, and we're gonna have to wait and see if their form, you know, they do something, they forget to eat, they forget to drink, they get a little cocky and attack too early and then blow up, then it could be a problem. But at this moment with their form, they're certainly the two best guys in the race.
I want to ask you a bit about your form. You know, coming 10 stages in, but before I do, you know, yesterday Schleck talked about how he believes he'll be stronger in the Pyrenees, and you said, well, you know, Alberto might be stronger in the Pyrenees because we're not seeing the Contador that we saw last year yet. Yeah. But Schleck is saying, well, I might be stronger in the Pyrenees as well. And I think we were talking last night at dinner, how is it possible after 12, 15 days of hard racing to get stronger? It seems as though you would just get more and more tired. Can you sort of simplify that for us?
Oh yeah, you could easily have a good day or a bad day on just, did you hydrate enough the day before, did you eat enough the day before? Certainly you look at the stage before the rest day, I had fantastic legs that day, I never felt like I was suffering at all. Then you look at yesterday's stage on the Col de Madeleine where I was having problems, but I did a little bit of work at the beginning trying to cover Vino on the first on the Col de Colombière, and so that takes just doing the one effort of following Vino on the Col de Colombière means that during that first hour I can't eat, I can't hydrate the same that I normally would, and when you're hydrating you can't keep up with how much you're losing water wise anyway, so when you all of a sudden you give up the first hour that you'd normally be hydrating, and now you're trying to hydrate after the first hour, you're already behind, way behind, and so you see the difference on the Col de Madeleine. Then I was just coming apart on that climb. But the day before, if you looked at my time on the last climb, it was pretty good. So it's easy to have your form change from one moment or next. And you really, the folks at home don't see if you drank enough or if you ate enough, or if you're going on your third night of no AC at the hotel, or if you had maybe just some bad food at the hotel or something like that. They don't see that. They just see, is he riding good or not riding good. But certainly I would also like to point out where the climbers are the best climbers, and then you have some of the riders who can climb but they're big guys, and so they can find the morale in their head to push themselves really hard for 1 or 2, 3, 4 days. Like you take a few. Oh, you take Ryder Hegenal by chance.
Yeah,
well, he's the absolute one of them. And Lovequist. Those two guys are the perfect guys to look at. They can both climb exceptionally well in the big mountains for 1 or 2 days, but when you start getting back-to-back days, they're just too big for that. And so that's what you're seeing is you're not seeing Andy or Contador getting better. You're seeing the others getting exceptionally worse.
Yeah. that's something that took me a while to wrap my head around, is that it's not so much that they're getting stronger in the third week, it's the efforts of the first 2 weeks have taken more of a toll on guys that aren't as good of climbers. They've tired themselves out trying to keep up.
Exactly. Yeah, they've only kept up on morale only. They really just motivation. They've gone so deep and so much into the red that the other smaller climbers like myself and stuff, maybe we're uncomfortable, but we're not as uncomfortable.
Last question. It's Bastille Day. Traditionally a day for the French riders to try to get out in a breakaway and win the stage. Knowing today's course profile with 2 pretty significant climbs, we saw a French winner yesterday. Your predictions on stage 10?
I can't predict anything here other than there'll be a break today, I'm sure. Probably gain some significant time because I don't see the leaders really doing a whole lot of attacking on today's climb. So I would say the break goes. It's probably a big break and has a bunch of French guys in it. Whether or not if they can win or not, you got to believe Chavanel's going to try and Vogler's going to try. So I can predict those 2. But outside of those 2 trying, I would just assume all the rest of every French manager right now is like, get in the break.
Having ridden on a French team, you know that well. Chris, thanks for the time. Good luck out there today. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks. Talk to you then.
Perfect. Thanks. About you a couple of years ago. Healing up right?
Struggling a bit with my leg a bit, but...
Well, I guess, we haven't had a chance to speak directly with you. Obviously, the tour hasn't gone exactly how you'd hoped. I saw some quotes from you yesterday saying you're going to keep pushing on. Talk a little bit about just the mentality of reconciling your tour so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's so special about the tour, it's just to do it honor and keep pressing on every day, and obviously just recalibrate the goal now and try and go into the top 10 and finish in a really respectable position. So it's you can't give up in the Tour de France. You've got to keep battling. So many things can change. No one would have expected Cadel to lose the time he did yesterday. So yeah, just keep pushing on.
Yeah, it's an interesting tour. I mean, on the one hand, you could make the argument it's sort of a 2-man race on the GC, but on the other hand, almost every day there's been a complete shake-up in the first 10 days of the race.
Yeah, it's a 2-man race, but I think Andy's got a firm hold on it now. I think he's proven the last few days he's the strongest rider. And I think, obviously Contador's chasing him this year, but, obviously Alberto's the better time trialist of the 2, and I think Andy might need a little bit more time going into the Pyrenees, but it's going to be a close race for the podium, that's for sure. But behind, there's a big gaggle of riders still fighting for that 15th to 5th position, so.
What's the best case scenario for you in this tour?
Well, just keep pushing on. As I say, every day is different in the Tour de France, and just trying to get the best out of myself every day, and if I finish in Paris having given my best, then that's all you can do. So.
De l'équipe Big-Boss Plus Télécom, c'est Anthony Charteau et le Manou Blanc. 2 meilleurs jeunes sur les épaules de Robert Dessing. Les coureurs ont pris place sur la ligne de départ. Je vous propose de les encourager collectivement une toute dernière fois avant qu'ils prennent le départ en direction du Gard. Merci à toutes et à tous à Chambéry. Vive le sport à Chambéry, à très bientôt sur les routes du Tour de France.
Tell me, it's been a while since you've had that feeling. I remember you won a Vuelta stage in 2006, but what different emotion is it to win a stage on the Tour de France?
This Tour for me is more important. You see, win this one stage in the Tour is, I think, for one rider is the best. So I'm very happy for this, and I hope can get more victories in the Tour.
What was your tactic at the end? You let the other one attack to see who was the strongest. You knew you had good legs. Did you feel you were the strongest in the group?
All the group is strong. Mario Arts is strong. Kirienka is strong. So when Mario Arts is attack, after this another Belgian guy is attack, and after I tried my time, and I'm very happy because I'm coming at the finish.
You knew that you won already because Kirienka was like half a wheel next to you.
Yeah.
But you felt that you won, right?
Yeah.
Because you raised your arms.
My director is the same. In the last K is doing a lot headwind, so I try stay in the wheel at the last 300 meters, and the last 50 meters for me is very hard because it's doing a lot of wind, but the more important is the victory, nothing more.
Acacio da Silva, 21 years ago, the last Portuguese to win a stage on the Tour de France. 21 years after, it's you. How does it feel?
I'm feeling very good. Yeah, it's a long time. I'm feel very happy. This is the more important victory for me. After the second place in the Olympic Games. So I'm very happy, and I hope in the next years is coming more Portuguese for me.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Andy, not a terribly challenging day for you as a climber, but can you tell us about your feelings and how much confidence you got from yesterday and how you felt out there?
Well, I felt it was nice, to ride today in yellow, and took a little while, and the break was gone, and it was quite, a chance for the breakaways. And that's also nice to see here, like in the peloton you have 10 sprinters, you have 10 riders, but then there's still 160 riders left, and 10 climbers, and then that's a chance for them today to win the stage.
You're noticing a lot more signs, your name out on the road?
Yeah, I'm getting popular even here in France.
even in France?
Yeah, even in France.
I think all over the world now. Well
yeah,
done.
thank you.
I'll take it. Short and sharp.